I wanted to make this video in case it could help anyone else who wanted to know whether the Nikon D series DSLRs will work on the DJI's Ronin S. Because my thing is motion lapses or time-lapse photography, this video will just be concerned with that aspect. By now there's probably hundreds of videos out there that deal more comprehensively with the Ronin S and its features. So in case you didn't want to watch this entire video, for motion lapses and panoramas for that matter, when using Ronin's RSS infrared cable, both my Nikon D610, D7200 and even my D3200 will work and be triggered by the Ronin S. I started my motion lapse journey with the Motimo TB3 Black. I've been using my Motimo TB3 for some time now, more or less since it came out in 2012. What I loved about the TB3 was that I could bolt it onto a tripod and set up 3 key or position frames for a motion lapse in any pan or tilt direction. So I can set up a start frame, mid frame if I wanted one, and then a final frame where movement will stop. But also continue capturing X amount more frames at the end as well as at the beginning if I wanted to. At this stage the Ronin can't do this, which the TB3 refers to as lead in and out frames. But the Ronin does have up to 5 position frames and doesn't seem to be limited on any of the movement axis, which is pan, tilt and roll axis. The TB3 can only pan and tilt. The Ronin will simply move from the first position frame through to the final position frame. The Ronin also has a maximum time-lapse capture time of 6 hours, even though apparently the battery can last up to 12 hours. Hopefully this can be extended in a future firmware update, as you can extend the running time capacity of the Ronin S when using a power pack connected via USB-C cable. So the TB3 has become a very versatile tool, and once I started expanding my motion capture sessions in regards to overall capture time, I went from around 3 to 7 hours when using the camera battery, 7 hours if I used a battery grip with a second battery, and now averaging around 18 or 20 hours when using a battery adapter with a 12 volt rechargeable SLA battery. I wanted these longer capture sessions for holy grail day to night and to morning captures, where I wanted to capture the sunset, Milky Way and then sunrise of the next day all in one motion lapse. Sometimes I succeeded, and other times I had issues with the gear not working or breaking down, because it wasn't as simple anymore as putting a camera on the TB3 on top of a tripod. There was now many other elements in the mix, but half the fun is just giving it a go and troubleshooting on the spot. Now I was adding dual parallel 12 volt batteries to ensure the TB3 would last around 18 hours. A 12 volt battery to run the Nikon with a homemade adapter so that it would last 18 hours. A 12 volt battery for the dew heater lens belt and controller, because if it happened to be a cold night, within an hour the camera lens could quickly fog over. A power bank to run the portable Wi-Fi router all night that's connected to the camera via cable and sends an image via Wi-Fi to the DSLR dashboard app, installed on the phone with its own power bank to keep it going all night, because if the app loses connection and because it's controlling the camera, it can screw up the camera's current exposure settings, thus destroying the exposure continuity of the time-lapse session. You can only rescue so much detail in an underexposed image shooting at night. So you can see that with so many elements and with a lot of my gear wearing out as well, the setup was prone to issues from time to time. But when it all came together and worked well, I felt excited like a little boy, and someone diagnosed with PTSD, it can take a lot to do that normally. So I wanted to upgrade to something that could do something similar, if not more, in regards to setting the number of position frames within my budget. So I started looking at the Ronin S, but I couldn't find anything online that clearly stated that it would control or trigger my Nikon cameras, which are a Nikon D610 and D7200. I knew the Ronin S came with an infrared trigger cable, but I still wasn't sure if it would trigger my Nikons in regards to motion lapses. In any case, I took a chance, along with a cash loan, to pick up a refurbished one that was on special. And I'm happy to say that it does work with my Nikons, and not only that, it can also handle my full Holy Grail setup, which is a battery grip with an extra battery, wide angle lens, dew heater strap, portable Wi-Fi router with cable. Being such a heavy setup, I do at times have issues with Gimble Shake, as obviously the setup is close to the Ronin's limit, which you can see happen here when I was setting up this motion lapse path. To fix this, sometimes it's a simple matter of backing off the strength of the Ronin's motors, usually around -5 for each motor after activating auto-tune. I believe it's crucial that you have your setup balanced correctly, as this will help eliminate problems. My general setup for motion lapses is once I have everything connected to the camera that could add weight or affect its balance, I will then balance the camera on all axes on the Ronin. In the Ronin app, I will check balance, then use auto-tune in the motor's parameters, after which I will then back off auto-tune settings by 5. Generally, I find this is enough to prevent any gimbal shake, provided that the camera has been balanced correctly. The Ronin S handles the weight and so far doesn't seem to have any issues in the wind. Obviously you need to make sure the base is stable, as it can rock a little if it's not held down. If mounting onto a tripod, you need to have a firm, strong tripod where the head won't flex under the weight of the Ronin and mounted camera. The Ronin can be used with my DSLRs for video, but they only do 1080p, and if I wanted to shoot 4K video, then I need to mount an action camera onto the DSLR via the hot shoe, which does the job, but obviously you won't have any control of the start-stop recording function from the Ronin. Focus control also obviously doesn't work because there is no direct cable connections for my Nikon. The infrared cable only activates the shutter to take a photo, it doesn't work on video. So here are some sample motion lapses taken with the Ronin S.